music from somewhere. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Technically Trek podcast. I'm Crewman Tommy. We got Crewman PVG.
Hey.
And in the middle, Crewman Mgyx. What up?
Mgyx.
What up? How's it going?
That's what people used to say. They're like, hey, is that how you say your name? Mgyx? I'm like, no, it's just magic, just spelled different. And then someone was like, yeah, but you spell it Mgyx. Because it's just MGYX. So I guess that would be correct. Mgyx.
I'll have to put it up on the screen for people. It is in the description, by the way. It's in the description. All of our code names. What'd you do today?
I went to our little family reunion barbecue picnic doohickey thing.
Okay. I mean, what did you do Star Trek related? No, I'm just kidding.
Absolutely. Somebody said that they saw my doppelganger on YouTube. And like my cousin was like, hey, I saw you on the YouTube. I'm like, oh, you saw our podcast? He's like, yeah, it's nice. You know, you were preaching the word. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, the guy looks just like you, talks just like you. I'm like, what was the YouTube video about? He's like, well, whatever you do. I was like, no, because you just said preaching the word. And I know me and Tom have joked about the time we had to take over at the radio station. And I did my ha, and the Lord said, and that was a joke, but I don't do a podcast about preaching. Like,
but John B says preach on.
Preach on.
About technically unsound stuff and Star Trek. He's like, oh. He's like, all right. Well, see you later, cousin Trekkie. I was like, yep. I was like, I don't care anymore if people know. Yeah, I'm a Trekkie. Not a fanatic. I'm a fan. I've been
PVG?
watching DS9 though.
Oh, DS9. Okay. Well, we'll get into that later. What you got going on today?
Well, my wife, JVG, she retired from teaching. She taught middle school math, and it was also her birthday a couple days ago, and she just turned 21. So took her out to the winery and celebrated. I'm ready for a nap.
Well, see, that's the giveaway that it's not 21, because a 21-year-old girl doesn't want to go to a winery. She wants to go to the club.
Go clubbing.
She wants to go to the club.
Because in the club, we all fam.
Somebody said that at the reunion
we all
today.
Fam.
And it was a youngster. And I had her dad as one of the cousins that I know well enough. Now, him and my brother used to roll pretty tight. But he was also here when I was a kid. I was like, we're all doomed, right? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, they're all dead unto us. I was like, I say that because you can't say the word anymore. It's uncouth. I was like, but they're all dead unto us. And he was like, you are so right. When we just started talking about how, if electronics just failed, people don't know how to use a map to read directions, or, wouldn't know how to get a car started, like just regular old car, like how we grew up, carburetor, everything's computerized, drone wise, and all that shit. He's like, it's ridiculous. They don't even know how to use phone books because they're so dependent on their, contact list in their.
I haven't seen a phone book in ages.
I kind of wish a big EMP would go off.
Sometimes I do too.
Let's just reset back to the 80s.
I mean, right now would be the time to do it because there's such. Oh, it actually started out because my cousin Chevy Cruz, his key fob wouldn't work anymore, and he was like, "I got to go replace it." I was like,
I thought you were saying that was his name.
No,
my cousin Chevy Cruz.
No, he couldn't.
What game
Cruz? Yeah. And I was like, "Why don't you just use your key?" He's like, "It doesn't have a place to do that." I was like, "All cars have a place to unlock and put your key in." He's like, "I can unlock my car." He's like, "I can get inside the car, the cabin." He's like, "But I can't open the trunk." I was like, "You can't go in the back seat and lower the seat and pull the thing?" He's like, no, it's like it's not there. I'm like, I was like, you know what? This is why I'm never gonna go all electrical. I was like, people swear by Teslas and all these things. So at most, I'll buy a hybrid if I needed to, but I will never be fully dependent on a fully electrical car.
Tesla's a little too much. Tesla is so connected and GPS and networked. But yeah, I think something like a Prius, I would rock a Prius, like the new one, like on
it's hybrid still.
Tulsa King, like the one his daughter had. That thing was nice.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the latest season of that.
Oh man, you missed out. But John B says 1880 on the reset. That's a little too far back for me.
I just started watching I think I watched the first episode of.
And Magix don't want to be wrapped up in chains, so he probably is thinking.
No, you know what? You know what? I would be the ones that I'm cool with that. If people want to reset that far back, if they're stupid enough to not think for themselves and to fight back.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is. I mean, you could literally think about the logistics of if you were to go back in time and just told one plantation, fight back. There's 4 dudes on a horse. There's literally 200 of you. Yes, some of you aren't going to make it. Fight back. The world would be completely reset.
Right.
But people were so terrified by the presence of a gun, scared of the whip, things of that nature, that they did it. And we actually got an argument about that at our reunion today, as my aunt was saying I'm too militaristic.
Yeah, an EMP wouldn't be very selective. Like we could say an EMP that only takes out social media.
I told him that. I said an EMP could take out all of people's phones, all of people's electronics.
Anything electronic.
You would have to resolve.
Yeah, anything electronic would be taken out.
You would have to, I don't think they understand, like a regular car, you don't need electronics. A regular car just runs off of gas. It's natural.
I mean, you're talking like a
70s kind of car.
Yeah, like a
70s, 70s. Pre-80s, pre-ECU.
Yeah.
My Camaro, my 78 Camaro, I could run that without a computer. You just got to know how carburation works and put fuel. I'm like, oh, well, how are you going to make fuel? You can make fuel out of burning wood, wood alcohol, hell, corn. Watch moonshiners. All these things are like been out there. And like, people don't realize. I know you're a prepper. I don't know if PBG is a prepper.
You a
but
prepper?
It's those little things.
I like
how much toilet paper you keep on hand?
Not enough. Not the way we use it.
I mean, if you think about it, learning how to distill.
I guess it's optional though.
Does so many things. It produces alcohol. It produces drinking water as well. Just that knowing how to do that one thing gives you so many options to so many other resources. So we were talking about how kids today are never going to learn this stuff. And that EMP that happens when it happens to them by a foreign nation, we're all going to be too old to really do shit. So an EMP now would be the best time. It forces kids, young adults, to learn this survival instinct. That's my opinion.
We get paralyzed even if the internet goes down,
Yeah.
I remember, the internet's down, Dad. What do we do? What are we going to do all day?
We got paralyzed last Sunday.
Yeah.
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 Hey, people are like, oh, no, the cable's out. What do you do?
Go outside.
Like when I used to work at the cable company, the internet's out. What am I supposed to do? Listen to the radio. Oh, there's supposed to be tornadoes. Listen to the radio. Get a NOAA radio off of Amazon for $20. Read a book. Go do whatever it is you did when you were my age and do that.
We just watched Star Trek, the animated series, episode 6, I believe, called The Survivor.
And they had some 70s mustaches.
There's a lot of mustache action going on there.
Abound.
But anyways, we would call it a shapeshifter.
Changeling.
I call it the changeling. Pre-Odo.
Well, it's not a changeling that goes into a bucket of goo.
Yeah, this is true.
It's a squid creature that becomes a change, that changes into anything it touches, I suppose. But the whole thing where he at the end, these episodes are so short, right? And
but I love you, Clarice.
Yeah. He becomes a deflector shield. I don't know. That's a tall order for any creature to take a few hits from a.
I'm just saying that dude could take over everything then.
Yeah.
If you're a human being that could take a phaser blast from a starship and you deflected it, nothing's going to be able to hurt you.
Yeah, and if that didn't kill you, then you're pretty much omnipotent.
Trelane.
Yeah. I felt like the writing, of course the writing's always bad on these. Like there's just no creativity, but it is a complicated thing to write about. Like if you write about a shapeshifter, like the real damage a shapeshifter could do could just be unmeasurable. Like a shapeshifter can do so much damage. I get the animated series though is for kids and it's got to be Saturday morning friendly. No one ever gets hurt. But
how can you put a 25-minute cartoon, a serious cartoon, like, for kids that comprehend? I don't know. It just wasn't detailed enough.
Do people die? I mean, I haven't watched all of Lower Decks yet. Do people ever die in Lower Decks? Or is it the same way? It's like it's a cartoon and no one gets really hurt.
I think they die, but they don't really acknowledge it that way.
All right.
So there's an episode that just came out. I want to say it's either Whispers. No, that's the one with.
Are you what season are you
Playing
watching?
God. I'm on season 2
of Lower Decks.
No, of DS9.
Oh, okay.
There's an episode where Odo basically splits off. Oh, it's called The Alternate, I think. Odo doesn't realize when he falls asleep that he's changing into a blob and going out and terrorizing people and trying to kill people, whatever.
Oh.
But he's a shapeshifter. I'm like, if he could do that, I'm like, and then watching this episode here, I'm like, this has got to be just purely laziness of the writers. Like you said, a shapeshifter that could turn into anything that's roughly the same mass or weight of a person, of the being. How are you getting caught?
If you can be a deflector shield, why can't
turn
you
into a pipe against the wall?
Why can't you just beam yourself into the other ship then and just become the Romulan captain? I mean, you could do anything.
I don't know. And that's why I'm thinking, I'm like, why doesn't Odo just get beamed onto a Dominion ship and transform into a pipe that's against the wall and just spy on people and just give information? Like, usually when he spies, he turns into like a mouse or something. I'm like, dude, just turn into a fucking pipe. Turn into an armrest of a desk, a cart that's wheeled around. Like, and you could literally just sit there and spy on people. And when you need to regenerate, go into the walls and bring a bucket with you or something. Go into walls and just turn in.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be in a. He does the bucket thing for whatever reason, because at some point, Deanna Troy's mom contains him in her dress when he goes to regenerate. So he doesn't have to be in a container. It's just a convenience for him. So even if he transported on that ship and it was there more than 16 hours, he just turned into goo inside the walls. And then when he's ready to come out, just move out. I don't understand why they don't utilize this technology, this capability that this one character has, just like they have so far used the transporter to fix people in like 10 different episodes so far. Oh no, everybody has a nano virus in them that prevents them from dying. But that means they have to stay on this planet. Oh, well, that's okay. We'll just go ahead and transport them out and select the nanobites to be excluded so that they get out. Oh no, so-and-so has a brain embolism or whatever growing inside their head. Oh, that's okay. Dr. Bashu will use the transporters to transport that DNA out so that they can never...
We'll just transport them back to version 1.13 instead of 1.14.
And so they do that as well. They're like, well, how about... And I thought, okay, there's one thing to say, okay, there's one thing about using a transporter to filter out shit. But then they literally said, well, we have a copy of their buffer in the transporter. We'll just use that. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you people not doing this all the time?
Why can't they make copies of people? I mean, they can because it has happened.
Yes.
But why doesn't that happen more? Like, you know, if someone dies, they could bring back a copy of them. Say, okay, well, you transported 3 days ago. We're going to bring back that copy.
So I think you have to have a consciousness.
Ethics?
I think you have to have mass with a electric. You got to have a spark.
The dead body doesn't have a spark? I mean,
No,
they transport boxes of stuff, cargo.
No, I'm saying you have to have a spark of life in whatever you're transporting.
I mean, his soul? Person's soul?
Call it what you want, a soul, a spark, there's got to be human life force there. It just can't be a dead body. And then we're going to transfer your consciousness into a dead body, because then you're transferring your consciousness just into a dead body. Now the dead body is dead.
Why wouldn't they just always keep a copy of everybody in the buffer?
They do. Bashir talks about that. Oh, right. His DNA,
so
buffer,
then they could just
DNA
transport the buffer right to the transporter pad.
You would have to do that. I think you could only do that if someone is on the verge of dying.
Ethics.
No. Verge of dying as in, oh no, he was in a plasma explosion and he's got minutes to live. We're going to go ahead and transport you into a new body using a copy of your original genetics without the damaged cells and all that.
Didn't they do that with Picard?
Yeah, into the Gollum body, yeah.
You would just think that it would become more common and like people could just keep a copy of their younger self. Like, you know, keep a backup copy of my 25. And then when I turn like 60,
rearrange the molecules.
Yeah, just transport me into that 25 body.
So there's a show on Netflix. I forgot what it's called, but they do something like that. It's called Wearing a Sleeve.
Yeah, it's called Altered Carbon.
Yes, that is it.
That's a great show, actually.
I watched the first season. I haven't watched the second.
Yeah, I mean, they do it where there's a chip in the back of your neck, and you gotta keep that chip safe, and then the chip can just go into another body. And it doesn't have to be your body. It can be any body that's...
Right.
But yeah, like you said, it's called a sleeve. That's a good show. It's too bad they only made 2 seasons and I think 1 season of like animated. But
yeah, I think there's a total of 3.
Yeah.
2 live action. The third one's animated. I never finished watching the second one because I didn't realize it was an anthology. I thought it was leading, up to it and having that person go in there and apparently it's not.
Yeah. What did you watch this week?
I haven't watched anything. I've been playing with that. Recently got a 3D printer. I've been playing with that. Cutting grass, trying to keep up with that. And working, life.
Okay. And Mgyx, you watch some DS9?
Yeah, I watched an assload of DS9. DS9 is actually... It's not bad. It's not bad as a background show. It's horrible as a sit and focus show. It makes a great background
I'm
show.
telling you, it's the Love Boat on a starbase.
I don't even...
Because there's always a new person coming on board.
I agree with Magic. Sometimes I almost fall asleep.
Oh, DS9 is tough to watch.
Oh, I definitely...
It's got to be a side thing. It can't be your focus.
I woke up this morning and was like, fuck, what episode did I fall asleep on? Because I will fall asleep in the chair and I'll wake back up. I'm like, fuck, how many episodes did I just burn through?
Yeah, because Paramount will keep plowing through them.
Yeah.
You fall asleep, you wake up, and you're already on like Voyager season 1, episode 3. You're
no,
like, damn,
I'm in the early season.
Did I sleep through 6 seasons of DS9?
Luckily, I think the most I've slept through is 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's very easy for me to just play it in the background and do my daily challenges. But once those challenges are done, I have to start limiting myself to 1 episode. Otherwise, I will fall asleep, and then I'll have to backtrack to find out what I fell asleep on and rewatch it again.
IB says DS9 gets better in season 4. I think, is that the Dominion, when the Dominion War starts?
I think so. I started picking up on, they've been dropping notes of the Dominion as early as end of season 1, beginning of season 2.
Okay.
I'm getting more. I didn't realize this before, but there's so many different things. They were like, yeah, they were part of this thing called the Dominion. And I didn't realize they were mentioning the Dominion. They haven't mentioned the Jem'Hadar yet, but I'm sure that's coming
Well, they have
up.
an episode called the Jem'Hadar where I think they get introduced.
I'm currently on Blood Oath. So season 2 to episode 19.
I'm still season 1. But I have been going through like maybe 1 episode a day. Oh, Dominion War season 5. Okay.
This is more of the Kira Nice show than anything else. Like,
you know what's so cringe though is just Bashir with him trying to get with Jadzia.
Man, that is
that
horrible.
is just really cringe to watch that. How desperate he seems.
Like, and I don't get, why is there no HR department? I think I may have mentioned this before.
Well, back then it was different.
There needs to be an HR department.
Back then, you just go around and hit on girls in the office. That's just how it was.
I mean, I guess, but
the early 90s.
I guess.
Get that Me Too shit out of here.
But the whole Kira thing, and it's kind of bad. She could have been hot. Kira Nice definitely could have been hot.
You know, she's so goofy when they're like looking for something and she's walking around with the tricorder. She gets so serious. She's like,
So I watched that episode. Bashir's like, why are you doing that? And he's kind of like, she's like, well, the Bajiran sensors are not as adept as Starfleet's. And she's like, oh, you're bagging our shit because we got second-rate sensors. Just because they're not Starfleet or they're not Cardassian. But I think that's the thing. Like, I don't... She's attractive, but she's annoying as shit.
Yeah. Nobody wants an alpha female.
Yeah.
It's not even an issue of an alpha female. She's militant and dumb at the same time. Like, if she was militant and smart, okay. But she's like,
the hotness can only cancel out one bad thing.
Right. And it's like, man. And then the fact that they really pitted her and Jadzia against each other. Not the characters, but the actresses.
Like who's going to be the leading lady of the show?
Right, because you had Dax, and then you had Kira, And then you had the Dabo girl, who was supposed to be a fly-by-night character, who they turned into, and there was a documentary on like what we left behind, whatever, where they say, yeah, I created this character for this actress so she could be a reoccurring character. And it's like, dude, come on. I mean, really?
Is that the one where they said that they didn't hook her up with Bashir because they didn't want to take away his single status because he was the good-looking guy of the show?
I don't know. I didn't go that much into the whole Bashir thing.
They wanted to keep Bashir single. Originally, they were going to bring in a Dabo girl for Bashir, and they were going to have a romance. But then they were like, well, Bashir's like the hot guy, so we should keep him single because we don't want the ladies watching getting disappointed.
Well, and the thing is, this is also coming around Desert Storm time as well. So that probably did not help that actor's
Would you just open?
boy died Mountain Dew.
Oh, okay. Not a Mountain Dew Hard Zero. Did you ever get some of those?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're in my little fridge here, but these are the ones that I put in my little cooler bag to take to the picnic.
Oh.
So just make sure they don't sit in here forever.
Did you see my new headphones? Haven't cracked them open yet. I'll have Crewman Patty do an unboxing. The Rode NTH 50s.
What's the difference?
They're just a little. They're one version down. These are the Rode NTH 100s that we're wearing. The NTH 50s will just be for the third chair.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You know, can't get them NTH 100s.
Right.
They're expensive headphones that do the same thing that your current ones do.
Well, no, these are cheaper. The NTH 50s are one model down from these.
Magic.
So how much are the NTH 50s?
The NTH 50s?
Huh?
Oh, the NTH 50s. I think they're like 95.
Right. What were you asking me, PPG?
What do you use? Earpiece? Or
like in-ear monitor.
Oh, gotcha.
In-ear monitors,
All right.
less than $99. Do the exact same thing,
It's true.
and they're detachable. I can pop them off.
Oh man,
I don't like
have to go take a bio break. Man, this twisted tea for some reason is just pouring right through me today.
Yeah, you've been
the
probably
beginning of summer.
soaking it up all day.
No, I only had two. I had 2 Blue Moons at the first winery or the second winery. I don't think I had anything at the first winery. I didn't plan on drinking because I was going to save it for tonight. But then I had 2 Blue Moons at the winery.
It's Memorial Day tomorrow. Do you
That's
have to
true.
work?
I don't know.
No, it's Memorial. It's been Memorial Day. Memorial Day starts Friday.
Right.
At noon.
Yeah.
Actually, at our company, Memorial Day Friday is a holiday as well. So we have Friday off and Monday off.
I only get Monday off.
Yeah, just Monday.
I think that's their way of making up for not giving us Juneteenth off, which I don't even think a lot
I'm
of
off
companies do that.
Juneteenth.
We don't get Juneteenth off.
Yeah. We don't get that off, but we get this Friday off. The last 2 days ago. Yeah, so I've been watching DS9, but I watched a lot more Enterprise because I am trying to get through Enterprise. So I am now in season 3 of Enterprise.
Awesome, isn't it?
Did you see the quote source that I sent you?
I did see that. I
saw
like
that.
that.
Yeah, that could literally be broken up into 2 different speeches.
It's a big, long quote.
Yeah, but you can break it up. You can take the end and work your way backwards to a significant
I
part,
already
but
have like 40 quotes that I'm waiting for her to read. She didn't even read today. Kind of irritated me because it was our plan to read, but then, like she was like, "Oh, we had a busy day. I'm tired. Didn't want to read today." So I was like, "All right."
Well, how about having the oldest come do it?
She was at her church teen group.
The other oldest.
No. That's what I mean. The one who read before. The oldest.
I meant the other oldest. Damn, dude.
Yeah.
You have more than one.
I'm watching we just got into the Zindi. I guess the end of the finale of season 2 is when the Zindi attack. They send that probe and it slices through Florida.
Oh yeah.
That was good.
And then season 3 starts off with sending Enterprise out to the, I can't think of the name of it. It starts with the D. Yeah, the Delphi Expanse or something like that. Delphic Expanse.
This is where Archer gets. This is where Archer grows a set.
Keep talking. I can't hold it. Keep talking. I gotta go check the tachyon emitters.
I think Enterprise was ripped. They should have had at least 2 more seasons. I thought it was getting better.
I think so. I mean, is it? Well, he's not here, so you've seen it all, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they should have killed off Trip.
No.
Trip and Malcolm were my two of my favorite characters. I definitely think the show could have done with another 2 seasons.
Yeah.
At least to the point where they show the NX. I want to say they could have got to the point where they showed the NX retiring. Coming out of main service, where they came out with whatever came after the NX-1, which I think is just the regular Enterprise, NC-1701. I mean, they could have, I think they could have shown at least another 2, possibly 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And make it be, you definitely could have had some character learning in that, or character expansion on, here's how, the young Sulu came in, or young Scotty, all those things started folding them in, kind of like how they're doing on Strange New Worlds. They're slowly folding in these characters, like Montgomery Scott. Oh, you were this guy. We picked you up on this planet. Hey, great job, but you're not primary. You're not bridge crew yet. You're not there yet. They definitely could have slowly brought those characters in. They definitely could have expanded more on the Zindi War, the Time War, hell, even the Klingon Wars, shit like that. You definitely could have seen some of the other early conflicts that Starfleet always refers to, but never shows.
It was hard to watch. I mean, you couldn't even. There was like no regular schedules. You thought, oh, it's supposed to be on Fridays, and then, boom, something else came on. They had.
That was the whole network change going from WB to CW, to something else. That again, I chalk these up to pencil pushers, people that have the power to make these changes, but don't realize the effect that it's going to have.
Yeah.
Because they don't care.
IB says, Trip didn't die in the post-series novels. It was a false flag operation by Section 31. He is a Section 31 agent.
That would have been dope. I could have lived with that. Hell, you could have expanded on how, even more so, because you already had Malcolm that was part of Section 31. They have Trip as being in it. You could have expanded more into Section 31 and other covert missions that are going on that Archer and the rest of the crew don't know about.
Right.
There's a lot of things you could have done on that.
Yeah, it gets a lot better in the end.
Oh, definitely does. Although Tom, but hey, I was saying this is where Archer starts to grow a pair.
Right.
And he pulls the whole, do whatever it takes. I don't care. He gets a little Cisco-ish.
Yeah, he got it done.
All right. I had to take some notes because I watched so much Enterprise. So before I got to the Zindi, before I got to the season finale, I watched the first flight episode where it was kind of like he was telling to Paul the story of how him and because the other guy had died. So he was upset.
Yeah.
He was really upset about that he died.
It was a good episode.
Yeah, and Robinson, what's his name? Like Captain Robinson or whatever his name was. And so he went on this mission. He wanted to go alone, but T'Pol was like, no, Captain can't go alone. So she went with him, and he told her the story of the first flight, of how, it got pretty much shit canned, but then they broke into the facility, took the Warp 3 plane prototype or whatever, and then, they went and did the flight. And I guess, what did they hit? Like Warp 2.5. And so that was a good episode. What did I watch after that? And then there was one called Bounty. Okay. This one called Bounty. This pisses me off because this is another one of those where they let a random ship connect to the airlock. This guy, this guy says, oh, hey, I can help you. I can tell you the best places to hang out on this planet, because they had gone to this planet and they were going to do let some people take shore leave. And this random guy just shows up in a ship and he's like, oh yeah, I can tell you all the good places to go and hang out on this planet. As soon as they connect him to the airlock and they open it, he shoots Trip, shoots Archer, and takes Archer hostage because the Klingons had put a bounty on his head. And I'm just like, what? I guess they didn't have those protocols like Spock was talking about for the shapeshifter. We got to check your credential tapes.
Right.
But never has Archer or his crew ever validated anybody that they come across to say, are you a friendly before we let you connect to our ship?
Yeah.
How are you going to do that, though? You don't know any of these motherfuckers.
Then you don't do it.
Hoshi should be talking to him first.
Yeah, you got to do something. You got to I don't know. You got to find some way to figure out if this person is friendly. You cannot just say, we're going to connect you to the airlock. Come on in. That's like talking to a vampire, inviting him into your house. Come on in. Can I come in? Yeah, come on in. Okay.
What do you guys breathe? You can't.
Are you
got some disease.
Yeah. So I don't know. They how many? I can't even count how many times. I probably can if I would go back, but how many times Archer and the crew fell for the whole, let's just let them dock or whatever. They just get suckered into it so many times. Like the one where they got stuck in the catwalk.
It's like they first couple of people were like, hey, there's this dumb motherfucker around here and this saucer ship. Yo, he will let you in.
He'll let you in. You can just gank what you want.
Yeah.
Gank what you want.
He ain't got shit. He ain't got no kind of deflectors or nothing, dude. Take him.
That other captain, Captain Robinson, it was A.G. Robinson, and he was played by Keith Carradine.
Yes, he looked familiar.
Yeah. That's David Carradine's brother.
Right.
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
Oh, grasshopper.
Yeah. That was, aside from that, Bounty, because, and this always happens, right? Archer makes friends with the person or people that hold him in captivity, and then they change their mind and they want to let him go. It's the same trope,
Wait, is this one where I'm trying to think of the Tellarites? Is this one where he's like, oh, well, it seems like you're because I know he did it with the Ferengi. I think the Tellarites are the ones where they're like, oh, looks like you should be the captain, but you're always doing the grunt work shit.
The side plot of this episode, though, is when T'Pol gets that infection and wants to do with Phlox. She wants to hook up with Phlox. Because remember, they're in the decon and they're giving each other back rubs. Yeah. Man, that gets pretty sensual.
Yeah.
Are you sure it was with Phlox and not Trip?
Now there was an episode with Phlox.
Trip comes up in season 3 where they start giving each other those back rubs to help fall asleep.
Thinking, gee.
But this one is where T'Pol gets an infection. And T'Pol is like because T'Pol is exposed to Phlox, so they both have to go into isolation. And the infection causes her what do you call that mating thing?
Ponfar.
Yeah. That causes her Ponfar to go out of control, and she wants to hook up with Phlox because he's basically the only person there.
And Phlox blew it off.
Phlox says
He could have.
well, he ain't into those pointy ears. Zindi attack was good. That's where the Enterprise gets retrofitted. They come back to, I think they come back to Earth, right? Enterprise, the NX-01 gets retrofitted with all the latest shield and weapons technology.
Cannons.
Which
Yes.
one of y'all dead motherfuckers just said that shit?
Okay, and then there's this one called Anomaly, which is like season 3, episode 2. So they're now in the Delphic Expanse, and they're just too nice. You know, this is like with Janeway in the Delta Quadrant. Like the Delphic Expanse is brutal. You know, it's like nothing but pirates and shady characters. And it's hard to believe that Archer and them can survive this because and people have advanced weaponry.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to believe that they can survive it, I guess, is what I'm leaning towards. Because you got to have a little bit of a cold, like, I don't know, you got to be cold-blooded. And Archer doesn't have that cold-bloodedness.
I guess he's more of an explorer than, I don't know, have a military background.
Yeah. Well, his daddy made the warp engine.
Yeah.
My daddy did that, didn't he? They held us back for so long.
The Vulcans held us back.
It is you're getting into season 3. It's a shortened, well, it's 24 episodes, but there's some good episodes during that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's Daniel from the Time War. Me and PVG were talking about how they should have gone at least another 2 seasons.
Yeah, they were ripped.
Fairly political and non-knowing executives that were moving their time slots around and everything else.
UPN.
That
Was that
Yeah,
the network
I think
back
so.
then? UPN?
it was because they switched from the UPN to WB to UPN. No, back up. UPN to WB to CW. I think it's a pattern that it went. But the whole branding differences, because I remember, I want to say Enterprise was on at the very beginning of Smallville, and I think I watched them on the same episodes or same channels.
Smallville
But I think
got like
that-
10
definitely
seasons, though.
Huh?
10 or 11 seasons, didn't it? Smallville?
Smallville was 10 seasons, yeah. I definitely think Enterprise could have gone another 2 seasons.
Yeah. Easily.
Well,
they-
I mean, yeah, it's
on the
very
time.
well publicized that it was clipped early.
The
They
E
pulled the
Square,
plug.
where they have the oh well, Tom hasn't gotten that far yet. They had a couple of time travel ones in there too.
Let's get into, let me find some news. Oh, I don't have my PowerPoint up yet. Hold on.
But I will not be staying long after like the last time. We cannot have another 2-hour, 2.5-hour run.
It's almost 3 hours.
We did last time what? What happened last time?
We had an almost 3-hour long show last week. So I cannot stay that
Oh
long.
no, we'll try to stick to our 90 minutes. That's why I'm about to get into the news. Let me share this.
Oh, they definitely could have. You know what? And I don't know why they don't have this. They should have. There could be an episode. There could actually be a Star Trek spinoff called Makos.
Yeah.
Purely based on the Makos. That is definitely something that should have been left on all the starships.
There's got to be good storyline though. It can't be just like Section 31, that movie. All it was just
no.
That's a bad example to ever bring up.
Makos are the military. That is just straight up. You could take the unit, SEAL Team 6.
Yeah, I mean the storyline compared to Section 31. That Section 31 was all special effects, blow them up, and if you want a good Mako, there's got to be a good story.
Section 31 was a tough watch.
I'm not gonna watch it again anytime soon.
No.
Strange New World Season 3. We've talked about how it's coming in on July 17th, Paramount Plus. Looks like it's going to be a 2-episode premiere. That's what they're saying on Trek News. 2 episodes. I wonder if they're going to show both episodes in one night, or if they probably won't. They always try to milk it. So based on this, it looks like we're not going to get a drop, right? Because we were contemplating last week if they're all just going to come out in one bang.
Oh, right.
But I guess that's not Paramount style.
They might do the drop for the 2-episode premiere.
Maybe. That would be good. If we could if we could get both episodes on the first night, that'd be cool.
This is one of those executive decisions where it's like if they polled their watchers and knew what their watchers wanted, they would probably drop a 2-episode premiere and then the next week drop the remaining episodes. But they're not. But they likely won't.
Right.
They'll likely draw it out and not realizing that you're drawing this out at the beginning of summer. So you have a lot of movies that are being released, a lot of new TV shows that are mid-season coming back on, where a lot of people just going on vacation doing summer shit, and you basically set your show up to be forgotten.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that was a weird noise. So I watched this. I guess I'm not subscribed to it. Otherwise, it would not have the subscribe button there. But the Tachyon Pulse podcast. This guy's an informative dude. He basically was saying he's got a source at Paramount or whatever, or Skydance or one of these companies that says they're going to pull the plug on all Star Trek after 2027.
I can't see that.
Except for the Academy.
Academy, they're going to let go like 2 seasons. Yeah, they're going to let Academy go 2 seasons, and they might do the prequel movie.
Right. But by then, they want to cancel basically like all the OG Star Treks all ended around the same time. Same thing with the DCU for like all the DC. They want all the OGs. So Strange New Worlds, Discovery, Lower Decks, Prodigy, all those, they want all those canceled by 2027.
Right.
And again, it's one of those, man, if they listen to their people, they would know that's a bad move.
Yeah.
Who's their people? Us?
Yeah, us. They're normal people, because what this person is thinking is they're thinking the same thing that the CW thought. Well, we'll just restart everything. The great reboot or reset. Oh, we'll just reset everything. And this is why shows like the Batman series was horrible. Even Spider-Man. Every 3 years, the story got retold, and that's why the joke in Spider-Man Across the Universe is, okay, one more time from the beginning. Every time they introduce a new Spider-Man, because that's all they ever did was reintroduce a new Spider-Man, reintroduce the same character played by a
different take by somebody.
Yeah,
right. So the Raimi series. Then you have with Tobey Maguire. Then you have the one with, which I think is the better of them, what the hell is that guy's name? Andrew something.
Yeah.
Garfield.
They had Tom Holland. Now you're gonna get another one.
Yeah, but if you think about the Star Trek world, like remember the golden age, right? Was when we had TNG, DS9, and Voyager. That was like the golden age.
It is. They don't want that anymore. They want to reboot it.
Right.
They want to make money on, oh, look at what the Kelvin timeline did, and they had a whole new series. That was the other one that they're gonna try and keep as Star Trek 4.
Yeah.
They want another guy is wanting to try and milk that same cow again with a whole new cast. And it's like, why? We already got the story to begin with 3 times now.
Because they're trying to think about what's going to sell to Gen Z, I'm guessing.
It seems like there's no imagination anymore.
And that's the problem. What's going to sell to Gen Z is Gen Z grew up watching whatever we watched.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then why don't you carry over that legacy and say like, hey, this is the nostalgia that you saw before. Let's grow it into a new age, not just cancel it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is all
They just
brand
need better marketing. I mean, they're just no good. They don't spend any effort trying to get this out to the younger generation. They just, I don't know what they do. They don't do anything. There's no advertising or anything.
Because it's all controlled by executives who are not fans of the franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple as that.
It's everyone's favorite game. Guess who?
Ahura. Hey, Miss Tilly.
Yeah. Yep.
They're going to get easier, though. That was the hard one.
Really?
This one's actually very difficult.
Huh.
It looks like it could be Troy.
Yeah, I thought, no.
I'm going to give you a hint. It's from Enterprise. I'm going to give you another hint. I just talked about the episode.
Yeah, I haven't watched
It's Ruby from the 602 Club where Robinson and Archer would go drinking.
She's a bartender.
Yep.
Isn't that Karen? Isn't that?
Debbie Mankey?
Like no.
Right. So that was a difficult one.
Nebula.
That's a tough
Marvel.
one.
Or Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah, it could be. But it's probably not. Oh.
Dabo
Girl.
Dabo Girl Marta.
Yep.
All right. As soon as I hit the next slide, it's going to be just a quick race.
Look who she's talking to. Oh,
that's his lady.
Yeah.
That was a big controversy back then because she was 20 and he was 16.
This story arc is where I'm at right now in DS9. He was just like, Dad, I got to tell you, because Jake is thinking his dad wants to talk to him about him not wanting to join Starfleet. Yeah. And in reality, it's, I got this girl, because he's tutoring her in some educational thing legitimately. But he's like, I love her. And he's like, a double girl? What? He's like, damn.
It's Cisco saying, Jake, high five.
No.
All right, this next one's going to be.
I know.
Oh, Pike. Well, technically, I was going to say it could be Kirk.
Kirk, yeah.
Oh, that's true. All right. These are going to be easy. And I say that all the time, I guess. All right, ready? Prepare yourself.
Go.
Spurt it out.
Captain, I believe I speak for everyone here, sir, when I say to hell with our orders.
Data.
Yeah. Which one?
Let me find the next slide.
Oh, this is at the beginning of
Captain. I believe I speak for
a
everyone
problem
here,
with doing
sir,
this.
when I say to hell with our orders.
this is where he goes to Wolf 3-5, or this is where the beginning of not insurrection.
Captain,
Shit.
I believe I speak for everyone here, sir, when I say,
He's like, yo, they ordered us to stay away from
to hell with our orders.
the Borg. I
First
forgot what that-
contact?
Yes, thank you.
Captain,
I'm going to get copyrighted
I believe I speak
again.
for everyone here, sir, when I say,
You got copyrighted last week
Oh, yeah.
because I played too much of that long Renegade clip. All right.
Oh.
Good one there. Let's do the next one.
The first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth, whether it's scientific truth or historical truth or personal truth. It is the guiding principle on which Starfleet is based. And if you can't find it within yourself to stand up and tell the truth about what happened, you don't deserve to wear that uniform.
I want to say Cisco.
I was going to say Pike.
Chat. That means you're both wrong. All right, let's look at the answer. Oh, it's not going to the answer, though. Am I on slide 17? No.
The first duty of every Starfleet.
Stop it.
She
Ready?
said- she said duty.
Duty.
The first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth, whether it's scientific truth or historical truth or personal truth.
This is where Wesley killed his friend.
I meant Picard. Not Pike, Picard.
Pike Ard. Let's see if I can get out of this without. Yep, IB's there.
The first
Come on, next slide. There we go. More potpourri. These might get a little difficult. What substance is used to make Klingon blood wine potent?
Targ bile.
Targ bile. Targ bile is a key ingredient in Klingon blood wine, enhancing its strength. Sons of Moog from DS9. That's the name of the episode. by the way.
Bile.
Which Starfleet officer was once trapped in a transporter for 75 years?
Scott.
Yep.
Aye, Captain. Relics. I remember that episode. What holodeck character gained self-awareness and challenged Starfleet's ethics?
C.
Professor
Moriarty.
Moriarty.
Oh, you guys are on top of it. What species tried to clone Captain Picard?
Romulans.
Yeah, I think so.
Romulans created a clone of Picard named Shinzon in Star Trek
Nemesis.
Nemesis. And I think that was Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
It was.
What's the main currency used by Ferengi?
Gold press latinum.
Yeah, see? Stuff every Trekkie should know. Which treaty restricted Romulan cloaking use?
C. Get America.
You agreeing with that?
No, I'm going with A.
You sticking with C?
Has something to
Yeah.
do with Vulcans, I think.
The Treaty of Algeron forbade the Federation from... Well, no, that's saying the Federation was prohibited. So I'll need to see... We'll need to do some background checks on that one. This could be a Chat GPT mistake.
IB says A.
Okay. Well, IB says A. And he knows shit. What causes tribbles to multiply rapidly? Radiation?
Overeating.
Overeating.
Like gremlins.
The trouble with triples. What unique ability did Ilya possess in Star Trek The Motion Picture?
Empathetic
Yeah.
sensing.
Yeah.
Early version
She's a
of
Delton.
Betazoids.
Okay. IB says that question about the Romulan cloaking was correct. Which Starfleet captain was known for archaeological interests?
JLP.
Yep.
Jean-Luc.
JLP it is, from Chateau Picard. Which species communicates through metaphor?
A.
Temerians.
Darmok and Jalad.
That's how I met Chief Scott. He knew that.
What's the name of the Klingon afterlife for honored warriors? Stovokor, you said?
Stovokor.
Oh, shit, I went wrong button. That.
Damn.
What did I hit? Oh, I hit the back arrow.
Put the T down.
Stovokor. What's the name of the Vulcan nerve pinch technique? This is a tough one.
I don't know, but I know it's not Tao Xia, but maybe it's just neck pinch. Fuck it, I'm going with neck pinch.
I'll say C then.
Talshai. Oh. I actually made up Volmazat. I just made that up.
Wait. Oh, I'm thinking Tao Xia.
You're thinking of the spy agency for the Romulans, the Tao Xia. Yeah. That's a trick question. What species did the Dominion genetically engineer to serve as diplomats?
The Vorta.
Vorta?
I think. I don't know.
Yeah, let's say you were
Good
right.
guess.
Which Starfleet officer was known for his love of jazz music?
I was going to say Riker. No.
I'm going to go, I was going to say Riker, but Cisco.
Before I was saving you the trouble of guessing something else. What's the name of the Klingon ritual suicide? Basically, if you do something dishonorable.
Mach 2-4.
Yeah. Hey, that's what I think.
Oh, I guess if you're in a battle and you can't defend yourself or something, I don't know. Okay, so that's Hachwa. All right.
All right, thanks for coming out. Everybody, good night.
Tasha is a form of Vulcan execution.
Oh, okay. We'll have to check Chat GPT on that one. Let's go to track 3 scene on OBS. And we're going to stop sharing that transmission. Man, I'm going to have to go outside and check the tree real quick. I'm having big problems today.
Wow.
I'll be back. Keep it going.
One word. Depends.
Oh, the next topic we're going to get into is your most memorable moment from any Star Trek movie or show. Think about that. Depends.
Most memorable moment.
Most memorable moment. Show or movie?
Both.
Both. Show or movie, both. Journey to Babel.
Oh,
That was a good
man.
episode.
I'm trying to think. I mean, there's some episodes that are just good because they're good and they have a good subject matter and something that really piques my interest. But then there's good for like emotional hit you in the feels.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to pick just one. I'm gonna have to go with like, you should have said like top 3 or top 5.
There you go.
Like we used to do, is like pick your top 5 songs or top 5 movies. I'm gonna go with top 5.
I go with
Let me
top
get a
3.
little notepad so I can actually think of them and write them out.
Yeah, there were a lot of them.
Oh man. Damn,
IB, what was your favorite?
It'd be hard to do because now we got like 4 more series
Yeah,
that I keep forgetting. I keep thinking back to the OG.
that's a good
And
point.
I keep forgetting you got Strange New Worlds and Discovery.
Magic was saying there's so many different series,
That's
you know,
true.
And
movies, series.
But do you have a moment where you're like, God damn.
I have a couple. That's the problem. Is it would have been easier to do like this if we just kept it to original series, TNG, Voyager.
No, but overall, don't you have a moment that's just like the standout moment of all time?
There are, but they're for different reasons. Like I said, there's some episodes, like literally, I'm looking at a season of Enterprise, and I can see at least 2 that I'm like, oh man, I really like that episode because it delved into something that I wish they had expanded on. It was so good. And then there's, oh man, I remember this episode because it hit you in the feels. There's and then I remember, there's now Strange New Worlds and Discovery that just had, again, good subject matter that's like really sci-fi-ish or
All right, I'll do an example of my scene. Okay? My scene is, tell me, I'm going to do the quote. Okay? I'm taking command of the fleet.
You just watch that.
Jericho? No, that was Picard.
No, that's Picard.
That's
And
First Contact.
First Contact.
When Riker says the Admiral's ship was just destroyed.
Right after Data says, to hell with our orders.
Well,
Picard's
yeah,
like,
that was
"All right,
after that.
I'm taking control of the fleet."
I always got to watch the movie up to that point. I watched the movie up to that point. Then they destroy the Borg cube. Picard says, aim all your weapons at these coordinates. And Data's like, those coordinates don't seem to be too important. He's like, trust me, Data. But when he makes the statement, I'm taking command of the fleet, they momentarily cut over to Deanna Troi. And she's like, oh, shit, this motherfucker.
Yeah, he's serious.
Oh, this motherfucker is throwing that D around.
Yeah, he's fuck around and find out.
He throwing that D around.
Why, that shouldn't have even been a thing. Like, why would he question? Seeing as Data was there when it happened and everything that happened with it, why did he even question Picard's? Right. Data should have just like, yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Now, my thought on that scene of when Picard tells everybody to lock in on these coordinates, were they actual vital coordinates, or did Picard just think if we all just shoot the same place, it'll just destroy the cube?
No, it was it's one of those. It's literally a rip from Star Wars. It's the exhaust vent that has no real. You wouldn't think it would have no implementation if one ship hits it, 2 ships hit it. But if you got every ship aiming at the same spot, it's going to cause a chain reaction, which is what it did, which caused the thing to explode.
Yeah.
And it was a good scene. I don't think it's one of my tops.
What you got?
The original series, or OG, and I can't think of that guy, Baylock. It was a big alien ship. It was huge. It was so big, the Enterprise was just dwarfed by it. And
you're talking about the one that looked like the big schlong?
No, there was another good. The Doomsday, Doomsday Machine. No, I can't think of the name. With Clint Howard was in it.
The Commodore?
No, Clint. He was that little kid.
Oh,
and they had that dummy.
I know what you're talking about.
With the little person.
Yeah. Clint Howard.
Oh, that's I don't know his name. It's creeped me out.
And he was very powerful. Like it
was Clint Howard is Ron Howard's brother.
Yeah.
In real life, Opie's brother in real life. And at first they had that mannequin that he looked really scary, and
that motherfucker's fucking with me.
The Carbomite, that's it. Carbomite maneuver. Thank you, IB. Yeah, I thought that, that impressed the shit out of me. I mean, you think, oh, this is a big ship, the ugly monster, and it turns out to be a little kid, or a little fellow, and can't judge a book by its cover. Did you get it?
I think so.
All right.
Step on it. It's right by your foot. See it right there?
Dude, I'm going to order you the fucking
All right,
shot.
don't do that. Because then I'll have to clean it out of the carpet. Oh, sorry. Oh, shit. He just smeared it into the carpet.
It's all over.
That's all right. It was annoying.
I have a lot. I have a lot of individual.
But you got to rank them and then give us number one.
They have different reasons. Like I said, they got, I would say the
Rank
most,
them and then just give us number one.
that doesn't do it. That's where Cremo gets it. Or just, yeah. I'm going to go with the Enterprise exiting out of Jupiter's atmosphere in the Kelvin
I think
movie.
you're right, Abby.
2009 Kelvin movie. Enterprise opening out of coming out of the atmosphere and then just opening up on
The Vengeance?
yeah, because like there's another starship, it's the Enterprise, and they're just, and the new theme music is playing. And so if I take the whole scene as a whole, that's just like a, if I could package that up to sell you Star Trek, that I think would sell anyone on Star Trek.
Speaking of
And the
theme
Beatles,
music,
I would do Spock dying Rathcon.
in
There's so many.
when they go to Enterprise Season 3, they do a remix of the theme music.
No,
They add
that's
drums
fucking
to it.
Stupid.
It's been
No,
a long time.
It is a complete change from season 1 and season 2 have a different theme song that you can't hear anymore because they didn't clear a sample of it or they lost the rights to it
Oh.
for the first 2 seasons. Season 3, they were saying, oh, it's too mellow. It's too dramatic. We got to up it up. And then they add that fucking,
The Zindi have just sliced Florida and killed
Oh my
7
God,
million
man.
people. Let's add an upbeat theme song now.
it is so, I hate that song. Absolutely hate it.
Every time I watch an episode, Patty starts singing it.
I just,
It's definitely not. I don't know.
if that is the one takeaway,
Pain on the high.
I would take the one drawback to Enterprise. I don't find a lot to draw back on Enterprise, but on that, the theme song is the worst theme song.
That's probably what killed the series.
She's like, why is Rod Stewart doing a Star
Yeah.
Trek theme
No,
song?
I could see that. It sounds
followed
kind
directly by the TOS theme song is again so obnoxious and horrid. Like, I've got to lower the volume. Like, why the fuck are your horn levels that goddamn loud? It's fucking ridiculous. And then it's like you're trying to be John Bon Jovi with Creed, because that was Nickelback and Creed were the big bands during this era when it came out. So like, we're gonna tie into this, and then John Bon Jovi was breaking out on his own around the same time, and I was like, why? And that was one of the first times I realized Star Trek is controlled by idiots who are not fans of this at all. And I forgot. This is why I like DS9 over it. I like Enterprise. I like DS9 better than Enterprise's theme music, and then Voyager after that.
Yeah.
TNG, all you're doing is using the closing theme from Star Trek: The Motion Picture, which again is just da, 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 da,
Yes.
loud as shit. Like, shut the fuck up already. But that's just me.
True.
Because I've woken up, fallen asleep, and then woken up to that goddamn theme song, and I was mad. Like, shut the fuck up, God. Like, maybe I should turn that into my alarm, because when I hear that theme, it'll make me mad. Like, I want to punch something.
Agree.
That's Tom's favorite song is Faith Through the Heart. No one gonna take me. And then you got to get the it's like going to white people church.
Oh, you know, it's totally off topic, but when we were driving to one of those wineries today, they were playing this house remix of White Horse by Laid Back. I had never heard that before. I was like, holy shit, this takes me back, because the original Laid Back White Horse song, that was like one of our original OG dance tracks.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
That's a cocaine song.
And then I heard this mix today while we were driving. I'm like, oh, what is this? It was on the Pitbull channel.
Damn it.
What you do? Drink a fly?
No, I put my gum in there and I picked it up thinking, I was like, oh
man, that's gross.
I got something and I tilted up. I was like, nope. And luckily I heard the gum hit the side. I'm like, that's gum. Let me throw this can out.
And so what's the plan for this week? I'll probably watch more Enterprise. The ratio of Enterprise, I just want to get through Enterprise. So I'm watching more Enterprise, but I am watching a little bit of DS9. I kind of have OG on hold right now because I want to get through Enterprise. And plus we're watching these cartoons. I kind of consider the cartoons more OG-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ever going to go back. And I was going to ask y'all this, and I'll probably ask it when I go back to Sci-Fi Savages podcast on Wednesday. Like, is it worth watching the season 3 of the TOS? Like, is there anything that I'm going to miss out? I do want to watch the last episode because I was on this kick of realizing, I think me and my older brother before he passed had this discussion of watching the last episode of a show. Growing up, you didn't know it was the last episode of the show. Yeah. Or you didn't realize it, except for things like MASH. MASH was advertised that it was going to be the last episode. Mm-hmm. But like the last episode of the Dukes of Hazzard, last episode of the A-Team, last episode of Knight Rider, you didn't know that. I was like,
well, because back then they thought they were just going to go on forever.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I don't think I ever watched the last episode. So I went back through and I was like, what was the last? And I watched the last episode of the Dukes of Hazzard and last episode of the A-Team that aired. I was like, yeah, this is probably why I didn't watch it. This shit sucks.
Well, I would do that. A lot of shows, I went through this phase where I would watch the first episode and the last, and then based on those 2 episodes, I would decide, do I want to watch how we got from point A to point B? Is it interesting enough, or can I just visualize it in my mind how we got there and then not even bother watching it? And a lot of shows I would never even watch, because just by watching the first episode and the last, I could tell you what probably happened in that whole 4 or 5 seasons worth of shows, and I just saved that time in my life.
I think you were probably the reason why I did that. Let's go back and watch the last episodes. Because this sounds like a discussion that we probably had way back in the early 2000s when we had access to just order DVDs and shit through the mail. Streaming was a little bit available, but not by much. You're right, because I'm thinking back now to like, I think I did that with all the CW shows, like with the Flash, and I definitely did that with Smallville. We knew it was going to be the last episode because we're 10 seasons and we ain't seen. We got a picture of the uniform or the suit, but he never put it on. He's got to do it now. He has to. It's the last episode, and then they CGI'd that bullshit.
Yep.
Or didn't show it all. But yeah, I think that's probably what led me to do that and really think on it. Not necessarily whether I want to watch the whole season, because there were just some shows where you knew it jumped the shark. You're just like, I'm done. I'm done watching the show. I really don't care what happens. But I would like to see what happens at the end.
Yep.
Like, what was the last episode of Mork and Mindy? Apparently, it was a cliffhanger. What was the last episode of Happy Days? You know, shit. I mean, I even went back to try and watch the last episode of Gilligan's Island, which doesn't really count because they had a bunch of fucking movies afterwards, and ended up back on the island anyway. But shit like that. And then I think I went into a phase of just, I remember shows that came on, or at least I saw pilots of them, and I never got to see if there were any others. Like, I remember a show that had Janet Jackson's Nasty Boys as the opening theme song. And I think it was like a cop show. And I was like, I remember when I first looked for it, I was getting not the search results I wanted, because I was typing in Nasty Boys TV show. I was like, this is not the search results I need. But it turns out the show's called Nasty Boys. And they had the pilot, and I think it aired like 5 or 6 episodes. And that was it. Any episodes you'd ever go back and watch, PBG, that you would like to find out how it ended?
Knight Rider. I remember the last episode of Knight Rider. I don't know. There was this voodoo witch gal, and she would give these guys earrings, and it would control them. And they would go rob banks or do whatever. I'm thinking, man, it was the last episode, and the cast didn't know it was their last episode, and it was terrible. It was real bad.
That shitty ass story arc. That was the last episode. They're like, this has got to be the last. Yeah. I bet you they were probably on for weeks. We're like, this has got to be the last episode. That's
how they already knew. They were like, oh man, don't go buying anything big.
Oh, I was
we're getting canceled.
On Enterprise. There was a podcast, and Scott Bakula was on it, and Brandon Braga was on it. And Brandon was saying that he got a phone call from Scott Bakula saying it was not a good phone call. It was he was complaining, hey, you guys are dumbasses for canceling our show. And I kind of agree. You know, they had it going on. The last season was really picking up.
Definitely one of the better episodes. With better season, and like I said.
Yeah.
But then again, you get dumbasses that, I mean,
the powers that be.
The powers that be, even right now, the powers that be are doing it.
Oh.
They're canceling these shows. Like, yes, we know that Pike is going to eventually die. We know that Kirk is eventually going to take over. But guess what? You could have Kirk take over.
I mean, unless they do some new timeline shit. Shit.
Show them dying.
No, because they're already messing up the timeline by having Pike and Kirk spend so much time together.
It's not the same timeline.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they could keep Pike alive forever in this timeline.
Oh, so I'm saying kill Pike because you already know Pike is going to die because it's foreshadowed in his timeline.
Right.
That he's going to die. That's fine. If you kill him, yes, you didn't have to do that. You could have let Pike live forever, but you chose not to. But you've already changed certain aspects with Kirk. What I'm saying is, instead of killing him off before Pike dies, let Pike die. Show the Enterprise crew being taken over by the new captain after Pike dies, because no one ever sees that. Show Kirk getting the reins and learning the ropes on Enterprise, or was there according to the movie, Kirk took orders from Pike, but according to the series, it doesn't show that. It doesn't show Kirk taking over.
Well,
from
according
Pike.
to Tachyon Pulse, they got 2 more seasons to go before Paramount pulls the plug on all Star Trek shows.
I just can't see that happening.
Now, and part of that is because they're trying to rush so many things out and milk so many IPs.
But they are being sold. Like Paramount is
the Star Trek name.
The deal. There's this. I think Paramount is selling off a bunch of its stuff to Skydance or something.
So Star Trek will be still out there, but it won't be by
Yeah, and
Paramount.
I think Skydance is the one who's really not interested in doing it. They're going to own it in
They're going to
2027.
basically Disney it. They're going to put it in a ball,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
never going to do anything with it. And it's just like to forcibly kill, to remove it from memory, so that eventually one day they have the right to be the only person to renew Star Trek after 10 years, after a 10-year absence. Which is dumb, because Star Trek started at CBS under Desilu, and they should have said, no matter what the ratings are, we're never going to get rid of it. It is one of your longest running IPs. It should never be sold off.
Yeah.
Because at any point in time, you could do the exact same thing.
True.
Hey, we're going to put the Star Trek IP. We're going to remove TOS. We're gonna slowly remove these and slowly replace them with the new generation.
The new timeline.
Shows like Strange New World. Hey, here's a Strange New Worlds where Pike has died, and now you have Kirk coming in as the new captain, or an intermediate. Maybe hell, bring in Jellicoe, a young Jellicoe, to come in. No, you can't do that. That's way too much. But have another intermediate captain come in, and then so at some point to time within the first half of the season, they come across the Farragut. The captain dies. They're in a battle. Hell, the Battle of Kittimer, or Vulcan War, whatever. The captain of the Enterprise dies. Kirk is beamed over and assumes command, and that's where he gets his command from. Because you never see where Kirk takes command outside of the movie. And you have that a possibility there for so many things.
Or they could just pick up in the 25th century or something.
No. Nobody wants that. Why jump to
I
the
mean,
shit
I don't
we
want to just keep reliving the same thing over and over with Star Trek. I want to now go after Picard. I want to see what happens after Picard.
They left that door
said
open.
you want to show an Academy one. You
But
want
that's,
to?
I mean, that's happening already. Starfleet Academy?
Possibly.
No, I mean, it's already being filmed. I mean, they've already finished filming it. They're just doing
I don't think going a 25th century one could go one of two ways. Do Star Trek Legends, Star Trek Legacy, and have an Academy. I still think if you want to draw those people in, like I said,
like a live action Lower Decks.
that would something that would draw in the new generation is bring in what they've already seen now. They've already seen Pike. They've already seen Discovery. Bring that. They know who these people are. Bring them into the fold and be like, hey, this is how Kirk. This is right up until where Kirk and the final episode could literally be. Kirk finally has Scotty, Spock, Uhura, Sulu, Chekhov. They're all there. And the final episode is them getting assigned their 5-year mission. And that's the final episode. You've now filled in a gap that they've been trying to fill in, but have never been able to do properly because they kill it so soon. Look at Enterprise. Enterprise killed after 5 seasons.
The problem, though, is if the ratings aren't there, it'll get killed.
Yeah.
The ratings aren't there because they're doing shitty writing because they're trying to rush.
Well, yeah, all that's true. But I mean, maybe they need to do some writing like they're doing with Lower Decks in a live action.
That would be Star Trek Legacy.
Well,
Frakes already said. Frakes was cool with. I'm okay with them improvising. They don't have to be dead letter perfect like we were on Voyager and TNG. I want that fun.
They need to let some of the fans write some of the stuff. You know, it's just
and actually accept it and not just like, oh, well, that's fandom.
I've seen some fan movies and thinking, wow, the production value is crazy. You know,
I've seen
these are just amateurs.
With Chekhov, the original Chekhov is in it. I think there's one with the original Sulu and original Uhura. I think there was one with the original Scotty. Visually wise, as far as acting goes, script wise, it was great. The only thing that they lacked was the CGI production value.
Yeah.
Some of it clearly was green
No
screen
special
on
effects.
the back. Yeah, special effects, shit like that, or having it show that. I remember one scene is Chekhov is supposed to be sitting at this big conference table, and behind him like is a window, and he's on a ship that's at warp speed, and it's like your angle of where he's sitting and the angle of the background are not correct for how you would be sitting in a room and where the camera's sitting at. As like, yeah, dude, this is one of those things. Somebody was probably like, hey man, we already spent the $100 for this After Effects. We can't change it. This is all we got.
We're using a pirated copy of Adobe. Come on.
Right.
Oh, by the way, did you notice PVG's new Star Trek? What is that? Next Generation command blouse,
Uniform.
and made by a 11-year-old boy in China.
Yeah, I think I've had this on before.
Are those the pips you printed, or are those the official?
No, this is.
Oh, okay.
I did make these, but it's not the one I printed though.
Okay. Very cool.
Look at that.
Oh, you're crooked. No, actually, I think we're gonna wrap soon because I think we're all running out of gas.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
We're on fumes.
I still have to go repackage the leftovers and take them to my mom.
Damn.
So,
all right. Well, we'll do that.
But, be surprised. There is going to be, I think, 1, possibly 2 episodes in Enterprise where you're just be like, what the fuck, Archer? What the fuck?
Oh, man.
I know you already have some. There's probably like 1 or 2 more.
That's what keeps me going is the what the fuck moments. Yep. All right. I'll keep an eye out for those. I'm sure I keep notes on all of Archer's blunders, and I'm sure to bring them up.
Man, Cisco. I think I'm right there with you with Cisco and the acting that he's doing in the scripts. I mean, one
I
moment,
can't believe you.
one moment, Jake, my boy. You know that it's just he's very Shatnerish.
Yeah,
and a lot of these speeches that he's doing.
Yep.
And I think that's him. I can't tell if it's him making fun of it or if he's being serious.
I think he's just trying to emulate it.
Where him and Gold Dukat, he's giving Gold Dukat the look of, I wish a motherfucker would step to me so I could bitch slap you. Please, please do it. Do it. But then other times it's just like, Jake, my boy, she's a double girl. You've got to love the Enterprise or Federation. It's what you need in your life. That's like, dude, really? So that and Kira Nerys and her whole.
Well, I'm slowly getting through DS9, but heavy focus on Enterprise. I'm closing out season 1 soon. I'm coming down. I forgot what the last episode I watched was. There was one where this new species from the Gamma Quadrant came, and they were playing some game in Quark's bar, but the actual game forced Cisco, Kira, Bashir, and Dax into the game where they were in like some imaginary world or like some hollow suite or something. But
yes, I do recall that one. That one was okay. And I think I realized why DS9 makes such a good background show. It's not focused on a captain.
Yeah.
It's not focused on a Kirk. It's not focused on a Picard. It's not focused on a James.
Yeah.
Each story, each of the characters get like what is this? 5 to 10 run story arc.
Well, that's probably because Cisco's not super strong, like to hold it up himself.
No, but because I thought about that. I was like, maybe he's just not a strong actor. But even he gets, his due in a couple episodes. But
yeah, they rotate.
this is kind of like, like Kira's gonna have a bunch of episodes.
Kira will have one. Dax had her Dax episode.
I'm looking at Kira's season 2. Season 2, episode 1, episode 2.
Odo.
Episode 3.
Even Quark gets episodes. Quark gets episodes.
Yeah. And then,
O'Brien gets a couple episodes.
Gets a lot. No, these are a lot. Yeah. And it's like, so that's the thing that I think makes a good Star Trek show is when it spaces out.
I mean, they have to, though. If it were nothing but Cisco, it would be impossible to watch. If it were just about Cisco. JLP, though, he's taking command of the fleet.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. Swinging it around.
To begin with. I mean, hey. All that dick swinging got you
Locutus, man. Come on. That's Locutus you're talking about.
Whatever.
All right, we're going to wrap, though. Hey, what do you tell the kids?
Tomorrow is we're celebrating.
You tell them like and subscribe.
Oh, like, subscribe, and share.
What the hell were you about to say? I don't know what he was about to. That was some scary shit he was about to say.
Tomorrow we're celebrating Memorial Day. Let's not forget for
sure
those who gave.
But go back to what you were saying before that.
I thought it was about to give the Independence Day. Today is the day we've up for
we the people. Like, subscribe, comment.
I may not watch any Star Trek Day. I may watch the Pacific. I usually around Memorial Day and Veterans Day. I usually watch military movies. The Pacific.
I'll watch Enterprise. I'll watch at least one Enterprise tomorrow.
I'm gonna watch some Generation.
Mako's show, Tom. Me and PPG talked about this.
All right.
A show about the Makos.
Yeah.
You would have to have good writing.
No, Tom needs to go piss. That's why he's not giving any input.
No,
he's tacky on.
What? I mean, what's the time period? Like 22nd century? Is this like
the Makos originally were on Enterprise, and then you don't see them again on anything else?
Right.
My question is why.
And is this that army squad that comes out to help fight the Xindi?
Yeah. And when they get redeployed out, they get.
And it's got what's his name from Lost, right? Like John Kum Jim Jong Dong Shmong. What was his name?
Yeah.
I got that wrong, but you know who I'm talking about. The Ching Chong.
Yeah.
And then where did the Makos evolve? Were they from SEAL Team or?
Emotional, damn it.
On Technically Unsound, we'd be playing those sound effects every episode, but now I feel like we don't hit the China sounds like maybe once a month. So there you go.
Where did the Makos come from? And is there still a military contingent on Earth?
Gotta be.
And those are the things that I'm talking about the show. When Pike dies and Kirk takes over, that's all during that period is where the Makos apparently just went away, because why is there no Makos on the Enterprise?
World peace.
It has nothing to do with the world. This is outside. You're going on a 5-year mission.
That's true.
You need some military aspect, not just your bridge crew, because what happens when your bridge crew all die and you're 3 years into your 5-year mission and you're
They were definitely better suited at combat.
Yeah, exactly.
Because even what's his name admitted to it. Who's the guy with the English accent on Enterprise? Malcolm. Yeah, Malcolm said, "Hey, these guys actually were pretty good in battle."
I didn't see any Vulcan Makos.
No.
And
why not?
Yeah,
because they're peace loving.
Vegetarians.
They do the Tal Shaya neck pinch.
Every 7 years.
I need to Google this. What other Klingons ever joined Enterprise or joined the Federation other than Worf?
Bella Torres.
Oh yeah, Torres. Well, she was half.
She doesn't count.
Right. She was drafted, right, as a.
No, she's half. She doesn't count.
Oh.
I meant full on Klingon. B'Elanna Torres is half.
She was Maquis.
Right.
And she was Maquis.
She got adopted.
She had no other way home.
Yeah.
But what other full on Klingons other than Volk got joined the Federation?
Well, that's all that matters. He was Section 31 leader.
Oh, that's one of those things. AB in the chat or IB in the chat. Man behind the chair would know these things and fill us in.
Well, he's
Just
probably
saying.
had a busy day as well and taking a nap, just like we're about to do. In separate beds.
Separate states.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap. Don't forget to catch us next Sunday night. I'm gonna try to get some shorts out, but in the meantime, peace out, I guess. Man, that's a low energy salutation.
Yeah. Adios, muchachos.
Hair grease.
Peace out.
Lighting off.
Allies.